The irony of Nazism and white supremacy. Welcome to Law and Society. Please subscribe. Hitler got the nomenclature Aryan from Indian Vedic history. In Sanskrit, which is the ancient Indian language, Aryan means noble. He also stole the swastika, a Vedic symbol of well-being, to make it the emblem for his fascist right. White German superiority founded itself on a race who were at that time being subjugated by the British Empire. While white British people looked at Indians as barbarians and savages who needed to be controlled, white nationalist Germans stole India's Vedic words and symbols to claim supremacy over other white races in Europe. And most white people, even today, are not aware of that ironic state of affairs that shaped modern white nationalism. Mussolini may have invented fascism, but Hitler really took it to the extreme. Hitler's fascist ideology deluded enough uneducated and prejudiced white Germans to adopt those words and symbols without knowing their origins or what they meant. This is not to say that the Vedic people were noble as they claimed to be. They also immigrated, explored, ruled, and plundered the indigenous populations of India. They immigrated from the Caucasus Mountains of Eastern Europe over 6,000 years ago. 6,000 years after migrants from Africa settled in southern India during the Great Migration out of Africa about 12,000 years ago. Over time, Vedic culture spread throughout southern India as well, but their traditions varied in nomenclature and practice as they do today. By the time Hitler came around, Vedic culture had produced and turned into and still forms the foundations of Hindu faith. There's no showing that Hitler got Aryan and the swastika from his deep understanding of Vedic culture, or that Vedic culture was correct in assuming that they were noble. Rather, he looked at the Aryan race as white people who came from the Caucasus Mountains and conquered India. He wanted to reclaim that conquering mythos for his fascist movement. In doing so, he changed the meaning of the swastika for the white people. Instead of well-being, it became the leading symbol of white hate, prejudice, genocide, and conquest. This history is riddled with ironies. German white people had stolen Indian Vedic words and symbols to use as symbols of their superiority, while British white people were ruling over and brutally subjugating the same Indian Vedic people from whom Hitler stole the idea of a superior noble race. To make things more ironic, a decade before Hitler rose to power, the United States Supreme Court ruled that a high caste Indian may have Caucasian blood but is not white. This resulted in immigration strife of Indians in the United States. The ruling was overturned a year after the Second World War. All this goes to show just how arbitrary the notion of superiority really is. It has no factual mooring. It is a tool propagandists use to create cults. They have no rhyme or reason that's grounded in factual reality. They build their houses of cards atop half-baked ideologies, prejudices, hatred, and the noble race's objective to cleanse and conquer society and rule over all those who that cult perceives to be inferior and enemies. In reality, these cults recruit and enlist people with weak morale and mediocre understanding because of limited education. This makes it easier to brainwash them to believe the cult's superior, divisive ideologies. Many recruits don't know any better, or they harbor prejudice as a matter of generational outlook of their families, communities, and cultures. But nothing makes what they do superior, primarily because these cults always collapse. Like the Hindu caste system. As old as the Vedic traditions, the caste system is illegal in India today. But that does not mean the prejudices it produced are totally gone. India feels the evil of that prejudicial system regularly, much like how Americans feel the evils of slavery to this day, like how Germans still actively ponder Hitler's legacy and preempt hate speech. These inhumane ideologies leave deep scars that impact societies for far longer than the peak of their movements. America has to face the demons of slavery and racism, like how India has to face the demons of the caste system, and Germans have to remember to never repeat again Hitler's evil legacy. Thank you for listening, and I will talk to you soon.